I am Iota Rupis Oliver, in charge of Bondo Health Center 4. Bondo Health Center 4 is the only health center in Arua district, serving a catchment population of 31,200 people, and it is located in. It serves a population divided in 56 villages and 6 parishes. However, these are shared with military. There is Bondo Military Health Center 3 nearby. So this population is served by these 2 facilities. The most common diseases that are here, as usual, are diarrhea, malaria, and other infections. Then for the facilities the health support that UNICEF has given, it has given immense support, infrastructure and the water. The infrastructures are, as I had mentioned before, they are the shelters, the VIP toilets, the incinerator, and then the waste segregation area. I'm sure you've seen a wall where there is painted blue, and it is where we do the segregation of waste before the porters burn them at the incinerator. So about the borehole has been able to support us in a way that the patients themselves, the staff, first of all, the time to report to duty is much reduced, as we don't have to go look for water. The water is just at the compound. Then the porters, they get it easy to work. As you know, they should start their work way before the other staff, and they don't have to go fetch water from far, and they don't really have to, like in a non-motorized borehole, to pump, that needs physical energy. So they have to just open a tap and they fetch their water and do their cleanliness. Then for the community members who come to benefit from the water point that is given for the community, they also access the water anytime, as you have heard from the water user committee, that they have time for opening the water, which is at 6 a.m. and then closure at 6 p.m. Meaning at the whole day, the water is actually open for easy accessibility for the community. And then for those who come as attendants or as the patients, they know that any time where water is needed, they are able to get the water at the shelter or at the standing points where water is easily gotten. Thank you.
Yeah, if you look at the elevation of Bondo Health Center from Health Center 3 to 4, what are the things that have changed since then? And in terms of the IPF, has it increased?
From Bondo Health Center 4, as a facility, what has changed so far is the fact that the theater, as you see at my background, the theater and level 3 laboratory have been given by the Ministry of Health, Dr. Deep, that is World Bank project. And then it not being functional is where we are having constraints. However, if it was functional, I know that the services provided would have increased and the number of patients that we would have seen would have increased so much. About the IPF, that is the funding. The funding is, as I had mentioned before, is at already level of a Health Center 4. Before, when it was a Health Center 2, a Health Center 3, there was another in charge, however, and I remember the funding was around 11 millions. However, now, the latest I have, which is just the last quarter, which is the first quarter of this financial year, we received 32 million.
What is making the laboratory and theater not operational, and what are the things that you need to make it operational?
There are yet a new project that, as I mentioned, a World Bank through the Ministry of Health and Dr. Deep. There are yet a new project, as you see, there are new buildings, and the project was given without the equipments that we use in these facilities. So now that they are completed, remaining commissioning only, then we need to lobby for, or the Ministry of Health would think of giving us the equipments needed in these 2 facilities that they have given us.
How many doctors would be adequate to work here so that we do not have these too many referrals?
For this health center right now, we have 2 doctors.
What would be adequate? Is that enough?
The adequate, no, we are supposed to be, I think 3. Medical officers, there's supposed to be a senior medical officer and then the medical officers. So now what we have is a senior medical officer and a medical officer. So 3 in a recommendation, supposed to, according to the structure, we're supposed to be 3. Then the other cadre follow to support us.
You talked about the staffing level.
We are supposed to have 40. The old structure says 48. However, even the new now, we are supposed to have, actually, Health Center 4 is supposed to have 133. However, we are working on 23.
Now, if you look at the patients you receive, give us, some of them I know could come from neighboring district, MEDIA-Robsyiti. Here we have the border in DRC. Has that affected the IPF in terms of service delivery?
No, I wouldn't say so, because from the records, we rarely get patients actually from across the district, except for a few that know that, or they believe, because we are mentioned to be a Health Center 4, they think we are already functional, that they need to see a doctor or they need to consult a doctor. Those are the ones who are referred from nearby Health Center 3s, because we really have many Health Center 3s around. So we have the Ulepi Health Center 3, then we have Lazebu Health Center 2 is there, we have Logiri, we have Opia. So these health centers help to take care of the other population that would come to us. However, when they need a consultation of a doctor, they are free to come to us, except for operations or theater services. We are not able to offer them those services.
Are you aware of the land size and the fact that it is not fenced? How does it affect the facility?
Thank you. The land, the facility sits on a 10-acre land. We know the demarcations, except that we have not done our leasing of the land, but I'm in the process. I think the document has now reached the Office of Lands, and I was supposed to pick it by the first week of October. However, I've been a little busy, and then we are supposed to think of fencing, but we know it is very, very expensive. We are lobbying here and there, but we know that with time, it will be safe. It not being fenced, as you can see, there are a lot of community is free to move. Panya roads are all over the place, and it's not safe for the facility. Now that the facility is to become a functional Health Center 4, we know that our equipments are really at the risk of community stealing.
From me, how has this water project helped reduce disease burden in the health center?
This motorized borehole that UNICEF has given us has helped to reduce disease burden in a way that, particularly diarrheal diseases, in a way that previously, we know previously we had a lot of diarrheal diseases recorded in our registers or in our forms, our reports. However, with time, I think I've summarized this somewhere, I've given one of you, that it indicates there is constant decrease of these particularly diarrheal diseases from, I think we took from 2019 to date. In a month, I'd given that summary that we have 345 mothers who come for antenatal services. Now, as I'd mentioned before, we have the high risk identification clinics. That's where mothers come for antenatal. You identify those mothers who are high risk, the ones we call high risk. There are those you are able to tell them, please, you're high risk, these are your conditions, you cannot deliver at this facility. Yes, we're a Health Center 4, but we're not a CMOC center. We are yet a BMOC. So we end up referring these mothers during antenatal, meaning we inform them that you are not to deliver here, so prepare yourself to go and deliver at a hospital setting. However, those who come and get complications of labor, then we refer them. But in most cases, they actually don't come when they're in serious conditions. They come when they are stable and we monitor them. Then we assess. In our monitoring progress, we find that this one we cannot help here or cannot deliver here, then we refer, and then we make coordination with our facilities. They choose whether they want to go to Kuluva Hospital or to Arua Regional Referral. From the city, which is where the Regional Referral Hospital is roughly 30 kilometers. From here to the city, or from the city to here, is roughly 30 kilometers. And now we have the ambulance services. Particularly, we mostly use the Kuluva Hospital, the PNFP facility hospital ambulance to help deliver our mothers to their site of help for CMOC services. The theatre is a new project that has just been completed. It was offered by Dr. Deep, Ministry of Health, or from World Bank, that it came without equipment. So now that it is completed, we need the equipments to work in it. Actually, it's open. If you're able to see inside, you'll go and see that it is completed, but no equipments. And then we need the human resource for the theatre, those critical human resource for the theatre.
We saw a packed ambulance which was given to this facility. What happens when there is need for referral? Because the one there is broken.
Yeah, the one which is on the compound is broken, but it's repairable. Only that funds do not allow much yet, since they have other mobile infrastructure to work on. However, the ambulance we use is, as I mentioned, Kuluva Hospital ambulance. And even when we have access to the emergency ambulance department, they are able to dispatch for us. But we mostly use Kuluva Hospital ambulance. Our ambulance, I think for the last 2 years. Any repairs is done, taken care of in the PHC you receive. That you are able to do. Yes, we're supposed to have an ambulance as the Health Center 4. However, the ambulance was given when it was at the Health Center 3, and it was given by the MP Osoro Morin. It's written on it, unless it has faded off. Yeah, it was given by Osoro Morin, and its maintenance is on the facility, the PHC fund that we receive on quarterly basis. There is money that is allocated for maintenance of vehicles and motorcycles. However, for now, I'm a little handicapped, or we are a little handicapped, because we have 3 motorcycles to repair and 1 vehicle, a double cabin, that was given by the district. Today, you're not able to see it because it's offering services somewhere.
What do you aspire to achieve as a health center for?
From our vision, we say we are supposed to provide health services to the community to make them healthy. But it is about the coverage of the community in provision of services to them. It is about reducing disease burden generally. As a health center 4, I know that when we become functional, it is going to reduce a lot of complications or reduce a lot of stress in the community that is involved with having to go up to the city to receive services, especially those connected to CMOC services. It is going to help in reducing that.
Are you achieving, in your view, are you achieving your targets?
So far now, I wouldn't say so, because as I'd said, we're not functional as a health center 4. We are yet to become functional. However, that which we are able to do in other areas which do not need the other areas of a health center 4, in this case, CMOC issues, we are achieving.
So you're operating at what level at the moment with the services you're offering? Health center 2?
I would say this is a 3.
Health center 3.
Well, when were you upgraded to a health center 4?
Financial year 2023-24, just last year. We started in July.
But you're not yet functional?
No.
Which kind of support do you need to achieve your targets?
The support we need is where we have equipment in the facilities that have been provided. The theatre and the laboratory. It is a level 3 laboratory. And in the health center 4, we know we have a lot of things we do. We have to do, at this level, we are not able to do a lot of investigations in the lab because of the level of the lab. However, with this level, we know that we are able to do a lot of investigations, chemistry, and then we are able to transfuse patients. And now when the theatre is working, and the laboratory is as well working, which needs equipments in them for proper functioning, then we are able to do better.
In the area of staffing,
The district, the government has been able to lift the ban on the recruitment. However, the district is yet planning on when to do recruitment to increase on the staffing.
What's your gap like? How many do you have? How many do you need?
For now, we are on 23. However, I would need, at a structure of 48, I think I would need 25 more.
what is your general admissions, the people you receive,
How many?
and how many?
I had summarized that on a monthly basis, the OPD, I think I mentioned that we do not have an inpatient ward. The OPD average is 1,000. That is whether you're under 5 or above 5. And we see them. That is on monthly basis. And then for the maternity, the improvised maternity, because as you see, that is not a maternity. The maternity, we only have 4 beds for the mothers. Meaning if you end up at some point delivering more than 5 mothers in 24 hours, then that means others will have to either go down or might request, because of space, to go home before the 24 hours that we have to observe them.
Save for maternity services, these other diseases, which kind of diseases are common here?
We have diarrheal diseases, malaria, and then we have other infections. RTIs are also common.
The village of Odravo, but people in Odravo, I think the population is 1,500, consisting of 300 households, and their neighboring villages that also use that water. Before that water was given to us, we used to go and look for water in that stream that flows. There's another spring that is very far, and others. Much as there's a tap in the trading center, but if you don't have money, you cannot access it. And this is very clean water. It has helped the community. Cases of bilharzia and other diseases these days are not registered much, I think, in the facility. We are very grateful for the partners that have given us this water. And for other details, I may call the secretary to come and give more details on how we manage it. Like we mobilize some funds from the communities for maintaining minor repairs and cleaning around, and also some small money for those who look after the water.
This water was donated to us here. The source was donated in 2018, I think. Yeah, it was 2018. All along we've been using it. It has undergone series of transition. We had other leaders who came in and they have gone. So as new elected members to manage the water, I think we have plans we have our plans in place to run the activities. One is we have set bylaws to manage the water point, among which includes we have to make monthly contributions to manage the water. In case a household, that is on household base, a household pays around 1,000, it pays 1,000 shillings every month. The collection is done monthly. I think this is our first month into office, and we've managed to do that. We do that in the interest of minor repairs. So in that regard, as it was said, we have around 1,574 people consuming this water around in the households of 300. So as it was said, we used to suffer so much accessing clean water and other things, but now things have normalized. We really appreciate so much the effort that UNICEF has put in place to keep the community around. And then the next thing is that as the community, we have done major repair, not major, but we have done minor repairs twice on this tap. You know, since our facility here, our facility is not fenced, We have other barbarians outside who come around at night, who are coming from night discos and so on. They come around, they may vandalize around the taps and move away with them. So when we come and find such kind of incidences in the morning, we go to the treasury and we get some money and fix. I think the latest was a week ago when we fixed the other one. And it is the effort of the community that makes sure that the water keeps on running. And without you, UNICEF, we wouldn't have got this chance. We're really grateful. And we're also thankful to God that we have come to interface in a while. I know it may be the last or the first time we are going to meet. We never know God's plan. But all in all, we want to say thank you very much for the work well done for the community.